Hey guys, Footy Manager TV here, and yet again, welcome to this Australian save. Going to be managing in the A-League. I've actually started this a couple times so far. I started on a stream maybe a month ago, a couple months ago, can't remember, with Melbourne Victory actually. That was my main team, and I think a week or two ago I made a video on it. But I had the idea to manage Australia from right away, but I started doing that and it didn't feel the same for me. Honestly, I don't like managing a club in a country right away, and I don't want to manage Australia from the off. I want to do the original way I did it, the way I used to do it actually. Just manage a team. Choose a team, try and succeed with them, improve the club as a whole. You see like training facilities, youth facilities, and you can see Brisbane Roar here. They're already in the Champions League. So I want it to be a team that's not in the Champions League currently, the Asian Champions League, so I can qualify. Because if I go to Brisbane, if I click on them, I don't like starting a save when the team's already played games. I don't see the point of that, or I don't really like doing that. I'm not going to be a team that already qualified. The team I decided to go for is Adelaide United to start with. And you can see clearly right now their training facilities is only basic and youth facilities are poor. So that's an area that needs to be improved, and that's where it's going to start. But this series I do, or this save I do, because I've done this before. I started YouTube as well. I think I did an FM12 as well. I'm waiting for FM13. I did it a little bit with Melbourne Heart actually, who now renamed to Melbourne City, obviously bought by Manchester City, but that's a whole different topic I'll talk about maybe if I manage Melbourne Heart at some point in this save. But the point is, it's a mixture of trying to succeed and improve the league, making it more popular, the reputation for the league. That's a feature in the game, how a team, there's like out of 5 stars, how popular a league is and reputation, all that stuff, but also improving the youth facilities, or more so the youth recruitment. That's the only one that matters. Youth facilities, it's important as well, because if you get the talent to the club, you need the facilities to help improve them. But it's more so that as well. I want to be bringing through talent. So when I've succeeded, this is supposed to be like a huge long-term save, like maybe 20 seasons down the track when I've been, I don't know how many teams, maybe 4 or 5 teams, improved their facilities, succeeded with them. They'll be every season producing talent. That's what I want, because right now there is a big problem. I guess problem is the best word in Australian football. There's not enough talent coming through, and that starts at the junior football. There's only one club, really. Well, it's not even a club. The Australian Institute of Sport. I'll go to that now. If I go to just type AIS, it should come up in clubs. I'll sort by Australia, should be found. There. The Australian Institute of Sport, there's a full name for it. And they actually have really amazing facilities. And they're not in a league. They're not in the A-League. See, they've got extensive youth recruitment, and that's one of the best. And they've got great training facilities as well. So one thing you could do is try and loan them out. Try and get Australian Institute of Sport as a feeder club. I'm not sure how many teams actually. If I go to information, I can't check it because they're not actually a club. You can't check their affiliated clubs. I'm not sure if many teams have them. So if I go back to Adelaide United, who I'm going to choose to be, if I go to affiliate, there's no affiliated clubs. And there's other ones as well. If I go to institutes, there should be other ones, but there's not. Okay, if I go back, I'll try and do it again. Go to AIS and try and type it institute again. It should come up. There you go. There's quite a few, and I sort by Australia, or by the nation there, so you can see there's quite a few. The Australian Institute of Sport, like I mentioned already, South Australian. Okay, that's Adelaide. For you that are unaware, outside Australia, that's where Adelaide is in South Australia. So potentially could get them as a feeder club. Who knows? But they're the same. They only have basic youth recruitment, so they're not on the same level. But if you're able to get them, the Australian Institute of Sport, as a feeder club, you can send players to them and the training's going to be good. Hopefully, I would be able to do that at some point. And they're actually in the youth league. So they play in the youth league. So still competitive games with other teams in the A-League. Their under-18 squad, and I guess players that are not playing in the first team or coming back from injury, that kind of stuff. I don't think there's heaps of talent in there right now. if I go to general info and you go to value, there's no one that's amazing. Like Anthony Callick is the best valued right here in estimated value, and he's already moving on. He's going to be moving. There's not like amazing talents in here, like world-class players, but there would be a chance to with the regions, when regions come in. If I go to information, and yeah, you see that again, extensive youth recruitment. So they're going to be talents nonetheless. That's what I basically want to bring every A-League team to, are those kind of stats. Then I know when I maybe get 5 or 6 teams maybe to that stage, apart from Wellington, because they're New Zealand, but they're in the A-League, yeah, then I know they're going to produce regularly, and then I'll go for the Australian job. So yeah, in short, that's the goal. Improve teams to that kind of stature of Australian Institute of Sport, and then, so I know they're going to keep producing that talent every single year, then take the manager job of Australia, and then move on from there. That's the main goal. So I know a lot of people have been wondering about this one. Like when I started a couple of weeks ago, I just made one video of it. But yeah, as I said, I don't want to be managing the country from the start if it's a bit unrealistic as well. So I'll go straight away Adelaide. I'll go through the team and I'll leave it at that. But yeah, it's going to be more in depth. And another reason why I'm doing this, I'll just start with Australia save. I don't think I have one named that. And yeah, if you watch my latest Dynamo Bucharest one, you might tell that my interest wasn't there, and also maybe later in one of my bar saves, or I think around episode 90 or something, that I've kind of lost interest in really enjoying the game as much, and that was the perfect time for me to start this kind of save when it feels as though other saves I'm going through the motions, and I'm not actually making videos for myself, personally enjoying it. I'm just making them because I have to, sort of. And yeah, not because I personally want to. Yeah, I do want to a little bit in my head, but it just feels like a chore to make videos, and it's supposed to be enjoyable. So I feel this is the perfect time to be in the A-League, because they have a lot of rules in the league as well, a lot of management rules. Just as a short explanation here, registration, there's a maximum squad size of 23 players, maximum of 5 foreign players, which is really crucial as well. I actually loaded players. I'm not sure if you can see it here. If I go to, which one is it? Where do you go? Game status. Yeah, database site. It says custom because I loaded players from South America, and the A-League is known for loaning, whether signing or loans, players from South America, whether it be Brazilian, Argentinian. They're the usual players clubs go for. So there. And also another interesting one is maximum of 20 over 20 players. So you can't have more than 20 over 20-year-olds, if that makes sense. So you can see that there. You need 2 goalkeepers in the squad as well. And maximum, this is probably the most crucial one, maximum squad salary of $31,000 per week. That is not much. That is not much, right? Like, you can imagine some players in the Premier League, one player gets more than that. But you can see there, this is the crucial thing, excluding marquee players. And this is another reason why I like this kind of save. And it kind of, a lot of you might not know what I'm talking about, but I'll talk about it anyway. There's a game or a sport in Australia called AFL, and there was actually an AFL management game called Premiership Coach. It's not made anymore, unfortunately. Not much information about it, what happened. They stopped it. They shut down the servers, so no one can connect anymore. A game I paid for, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, it was really good. It's the same thing. You have the salary cap, and you have to manage your squad really well, man management, or more so squad management, to make sure you build. And that's something I really like to do, and there's a challenge there. That's one of the things. Like I always say in my bigger saves, like with Arsenal, I want to build a good squad. And this is a challenge kind of one to build. Yeah, and you have to do it every season as well, because if you have amazing players, they're going to want more and more money, and eventually you're going to have to let them go, and you have to do it again. You got to really manage the squad well, and yeah, for the future as well. So it's a lot of those kind of things going on in this save. But yeah, excluding marquee players, and I'll go on more here to talk about it. You get 1 marquee player that can be Australian. So Australian marquee, you can see here Ryan Griffiths is that player. See AMQ, that stands for Australian marquee. And then there would be, that's the maximum of 1 Australian marquee in the squad. And then there's another one, a maximum of 1 marquee player in the squad, including Australians. So you could have 2 Australian marquees, but that is not really recommended. So you can see here, it's 0. None of the foreign players are listed as a what are they called? A marquee player like Karuska. He's counting to the wages. But how much foreign players do we have? 5, yeah, 5. So I can't get more. So someone like Geronimo as well. Yeah, where is he? Yeah, he's on 2.6k a week. So if we could sign him up, like offer a new I'm pretty sure this is how you do it. Offer a new contract. But he doesn't want to. He doesn't want a new contract. But in real life, he actually moved to another team. But they have him transfer listed for whatever crazy reason. He's an amazing player. He's important first team player. Not sure why he's transfer listed in the game. I suppose, yeah, he's leaving in real life, moving to another team in the league, but still, he's a class player. And yeah, you may notice he has 3 names, Geronimo Morales Newman, but in real life he's known as Geronimo, so if you're wondering why I'm calling him that, that is why for people that are not familiar with the A-League. But yeah, that's it on that. So I'll offer a contract to someone who would want to. So Fabio Ferreira, some of you may remember him at his Chelsea days. He never played, but still, he was on the books of Chelsea. Signed from Sporting, but he never played. Then he went on loan to Oldham, didn't really play. So yeah, they kind of gave up on him, let him go. And then went back to Portugal to play for a couple teams in the lower divisions. And then he actually moved to Australia. I think he went to work somewhere. I can't, yeah, I'm not going to say because one of his family members work with him or something like that. And then, yeah, he signed up to play in a state league, which is sort of like a part-time thing. Then he got noticed by scouts, and then, yeah, he went to A-League, which is the only professional league in Australia. So that's the kind of story behind him. So if I can offer him a contract, can I do it? Okay, you can't. Usually, you can. This is where you're supposed to do it. Put him as the marquee player. But I don't know. Sometimes you're just not able to choose it for whatever crazy reason. Maybe he's not. The wages are not high enough. It's not like a really insane amount. But yeah, it says 0. Yeah, 0 marquee is selected there. You already got the one Australian marquee, but then another one you can select. And I'm pretty sure that's the way you select it. If I go to Ryan Griffiths here, right quick. Yeah, see how it says Australian marquee then marquee? Sometimes it shows it for some players and sometimes it doesn't. I don't even know why, but that's the way it goes. But yeah, Ryan Griffiths, he's the Australian marquee. So, for example, that 4.9k per week is not counted in the salary. Hopefully you understand now. I really want to explain it so you understand. And also another one, 3 junior marquees. So players under 23, if you sign them out, there's 0 right now. So if I go to someone under 23, for example, if there's hardly anyone, Paul Izzo, okay, backup goalkeeper. And if I offer him a new contract, see, I can't offer him a junior marquee. And he is a junior player. He's 18. That's one thing that they probably don't focus on this league so much. So there's probably little bugs like that. That just little frustrations because you can help, not go towards the wage budget, but still, or the salary cap more so. And yeah, and that's basically it, I think. And also another thing, if you take a player out of the squad and they're not a youth player, if you've got a full-time contract, they're going to be released on the registration deadline or right away, I don't really know. So if I do it, for example, if I take Casio out and I press confirm, okay, that's already one other problem. But yeah, just so you know, that's what will happen. If I take him out, okay, let's try and do it like that, out. Yeah, look at this here. The following unregistered players will leave by mutual agreement. Released players will still count against the salary cap to the tune of their release fee for the remainder of the season. So you don't want that. You want those players in. And who's that other guy, Alcy? See, that's the thing. He's probably in the reserves or the youth squad. Alcy, where is he? Yeah, Alcy. See, he's not a youth player. He's got a full-time contract. So he's going to either be in the first team or not selected. So already, it's just the brain destroying everything that's happening right now. It just destroys your brain, doesn't it? But anyway, look how many strikers they have in the reserves. Holy. I didn't even think of... I didn't realize I had that many. Look, that must be a record. That many strikers in a youth squad. That's insane. But yeah, there's some good talents like Jake Parker-Daesh. I like this guy. He should be in the first team as well. He's just a youth contract? No, he's got a full-time contract as well, so I'm not sure why his name didn't show. That's what I mean. The only downside of managing in the A-League, sometimes things like that don't make sense. And also there's T-Boy Camara. He was an interesting talent. He actually debuted a couple seasons ago when he was like 15, the youngest player to ever get a game in the A-League, I believe. Yeah, but I'm not sure if he make it now. I think he has a sickness of sorts. I don't really know because I haven't heard of him for about 2 years. But he's unavailable. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I think he's unavailable due to something like that. But anyway, Nathan Konstantopoulos. I know this guy's decent. He's actually got decent potential. Yeah, he's not too bad. They got him from the local leagues as well, from Adelaide Olympic. He's a very good player, a good midfielder. That's why we need to produce more talents like this. I'll see how it develops in the game, though, but I think that's it. Yeah, so I'm just going to not confirm that yet, because I've got to look at more stuff, got to think a bit more about it, but hopefully you understood how all that part works. I got this here, Greg Griffin, and I don't want to go through all that stuff right now. We've got to register the players as well. But for now, I'm just going to go through the first team. I'm going to load up one of my tactics that I always use, and I'm going to see how we can really set it up. If I go to just one of them, you can see I have heaps here. I'll just go to, the one standard one I use, and press no, and I'll just do a quick pick. And you got Eugene Galekovic as the goalkeeper. And yeah, one of the biggest things that I take a look at, of course, I'll be talking about like what I said already, like the wages. Sometimes like a bigger team, you won't really focus on that, but you got to focus on that and how long the contract is till. Because like I said, if you take them out of the registration for the squad, they're released right away. So keep that in mind. But yeah, Eugene Galekovic is a good goalkeeper for this league. It's really hard to judge because you look at this player and you compare it to Premier League, he'll be crap. But yeah, it's definitely not that level. You got to get your expectations a bit back. But yeah, he's not too bad. His experience, it's crucial. Experienced goalkeepers do pretty well in my experience in the A-League, in Football Manager. Then next up we got Michael Morone. He actually played with Melbourne Heart, started at Adelaide as well, but he went to a Chinese team or something like that, Shanghai, Chinese. And he is a good defender, a versatile defender, and versatile players are crucial for this level because you can have like 5 on the bench and 1 must be a goalkeeper. So, yeah, Michael Morone is a good fullback. He can play centre-back as well, midfield positions, defensive midfield, centre-mid. So, yeah, he's going to be an important player for me. Really important. Next up is Nigel Bugard. He's been a long time serving defender in the A-League since like it started, really. You can see. They actually signed him before the A-League started, which is a bit weird, but he's an experienced defender, as I was saying. He's going to be part of the team, but you can only see he's not just 2.5-star report, nothing too special. And yeah, another reason why I want to do this, because I want to improve in Australia as well, but for my knowledge. I'll have a lot of knowledge, I'll know what to talk about all the time, and yeah, maybe you'll like listening to that, I don't really know. But next up, Jonathan McCain, who's actually played 16 times for the national team. Again, a really good defender at this level. He's got international experience. Where else? He played for this team, Poly 1921. I'm not sure who they are because I can't click on them. Oh, wait. No, that's Romania, yeah? See, I know. But anyway, so he played there for a few seasons. Quite a few seasons. Actually, another team, I think they're Romanian as well. So, yeah, he has got that European experience, so he is a decent player for the A-League, definitely. And Michael Zulo is on loan from Utrecht, actually, who he signed after playing well for Brisbane Roar. He actually started at the wingers. He's one of those failed wingers that turned into a fullback. But most of you probably wouldn't know that unless you are familiar with the A-League. But yeah, he's a good talent. He's very, very good. He's got potential to grow a lot more, but right now he's a star in the league. He's got that pace, good dribbling ability. And yeah, he actually was at Brisbane Roar at the same time when Robbie Cruz was there. And obviously they're both playing in Europe now. Well, yeah, Zulo, he signed for Utrecht at least. So yeah, they're both decent players. But obviously Robbie Cruz is a star player, you know. It'll be hard to get him back. And yeah, it's really hard to get good Australian players at this level. Again, free transfers is the go. And also another thing, if I just go click on one other team, I'll just click John Hutchinson here. If I go to make offer, you can't buy players from the same league, but you can approach on their contract. You can approach to sign when their contracts are running out. So that's something, but you can't actually approach, like, buy the player. So that's interesting. Well, for you to know, I knew that already, obviously. Next up, Osama Malik, who actually Has had a really good last 2 seasons as a defensive midfielder. Really strong, can play other positions as well, you can see there, but defensive midfield is his go. A good physical player. We'll see how good he gets. He's got 4-star potential to be a star in this league. He could probably to step up. He could play for the national team as there's not much talent there, but I want to produce better talents than this. That's the thing. But yeah, he'll be a good player for me. You might look at his technical attributes. Doesn't look that great, but yeah, physically for a defensive midfield, he'll do the job. Now, a Spanish player. They got Isaias. I think that's how you say his name, Isaias. And he can play all in midfield. A Spanish player. Came through Barcelona. Make sure you listen, probably Barcelona, not Barcelona. So yeah, he is a good technical player. And yeah, the manager who was the manager of Adelaide United and still is Spanish, so he wanted to bring that Spanish flair to the team, like technical ability and that. But yeah, he's a good central midfielder. He'll create a decent amount. You can see well-rounded attributes for a centre mid. Yeah, I like the look of him, really. And next up, there is Sergio Thirio. He is another Spanish talent. A good finisher, can play wing or striker. Has a good goal-scoring record. He had one good season, I think. Yeah, the season before for Hospitalet. No idea how to say their name. But anyway, he scored 22 goals in 45 games. It's not too bad for a guy who's a winger, not a striker. But he's got the pace, finishing ability, dribbling ability, technique, and all that stuff. Can cross as well. So he can play striker or out wide. Definitely will be a good player, I reckon. Next up, Jacob Malling. Again, another young player at this level. Yeah, for the A-League, you're going to need enough young talents to step up because of the wage budget rules. You need, pretty good talent coming through. So he'll be a star central midfielder. He's got potential for that. That's what I mean. When all these young players come up and you've got to offer them more, they want more money, you can't sign them all up because it's going to cost too much on the wages. So that's definitely a hard task. But you can see his ability. He's got passing, first touch, finishing, and dribbling. So he could be actually a very good attacking midfielder. But again, got to see how he develops. Who else? Oh, Marcelo Carusca. This guy is a talent. Look how good this guy is. He's got 16 crossing, 16 technique, and 16 creativity. A bit of pace as well for a 29-year-old. You can compare to the other players and you can see he's a really good talent. And he's actually played in the Champions League before with Galatasaray. So he's that high. He's that high experience right there. Played for Galatasaray, played Champions League football, European Champions League. Of course, A-League, Australian teams, you can be Asian Champions League. That's the way to go. That's my goals with teams. Got to win the league, then go for Asian Champions League, even though the Chinese teams, like the actual Asian teams, I don't count Australian teams as Asian, but anyway, yeah, like I was saying, they're harder to beat because they spend so much money. They don't even have salary cap or wage budget, I should say. Yeah, salary cap, not wage budget. Yeah, they can sign whoever they want. They got heaps of cash. But anyway, Marcelo, he is a quality player. Love him as a player, really, really good. And next up, there is Bruce Jitte, another player actually played for Galatasaray. Oh no, he didn't play for. He went to Turkey and he played for whatever. The name is similar. It starts with G. However you say that, I'm not going to attempt. But yeah, he moved to them. Another Turkish team. I got confused because I thought it was because I couldn't remember. It was a while ago. And yeah, he is an okay player. He's a good physical player. He's got strength, 16 strength, pretty good. So I'm surprised his finishing's not higher. I don't think it's that bad. He's a pretty good striker, even though he hasn't scored for the national team when he's played. But he's decent. Like I said, he's a strong player. I like him. He'll do the job. He'll be probably my main striker. Not really sure. Depends. Ryan Griffiths. Just depends. Yeah, Paul Izzo, the guy I showed before. Young goalkeeper. Good potential. 4-star potential. He'll be okay. It just really depends because, we have Eugene Galekovic aging. Just depends. And now we've got Tarek Elrich, who's going to be vying for that right-back position. But he's not that good. Honestly, he's pacey. He's pacey right-back. He's decent in real life. Not sure how he perform in Football Manager with these kind of attributes. Doesn't really have great defensive attributes. But he's got pace. Who knows? That might help him play. It really depends on other players, other teams' quality. Next up is Cam Watson. He's only got a 2-star report. Another hard-working player. You can see his teamwork is 15. That's a pretty high attribute for the A-League. So yeah, that's basically kind of play. He's played right back at different stages. That's why he can almost play there accomplished. But yeah, centre mid is his natural position. And where did he come from before that? Oh, he just came through the lower leagues in Australia. He actually went to Porto. See, he was at AIS and then we moved to Porto. Never played. That's really interesting. I never realised he was at Porto, but he was. So let's move on now to next player, Ryan Griffiths, who's the Australian marquee player. You can see those attributes. Very strong. He's a fit player. 431, so that's pretty good. A very good finisher. He's an accomplished striker, really, at this league. You can see he started at Newcastle long ago. But where was his good season? That wasn't his good season. Then he moved on to other teams. And then when he came, he had one really good season, but where was it? I can't remember. It doesn't really showcase here, does it? Had a couple, goal-scoring season of 9. Oh no, this is Ryan Griffiths. I was thinking of his brother, Joel Griffiths. He was the one that scored a lot of goals and at Newcastle. Where was it? Let's go to Newcastle. Yeah, 15-goal season there and came back, 14-goal season there. Actually went to Leeds for a really cheap fee. Look at that. £875. But anyway, that's his story, but he's in another team. But we've got his brother. There's actually three brothers, Adam Griffiths as well, who's moved to another team. No idea where that is. Keita, is that like an Indian or Malaysian? Same kind of crap. But that's enough on him. Daniel Bowles, he's a decent. So I actually signed him for one team can't remember who it was actually, which team. But yeah, I signed him on a free when I did this earlier this year. Fabio Ferreira, again, the guy I showed before. He's got pace, dribbling ability, technique. He'll be okay, but he's not a kind of player I'd want from one of them. The foreign spots. Like, I feel I could sign someone better, but he's only 1k per week, so pretty cheap. Oh, and another thing, when you get in the Champions League, you need one Asian player, and by that, like a South Korean or something, or a Chinese player, you need an actual Asian as one of your foreign players. So that's something you got to keep in your mind as well. Next up, Geronimo. I talked about him before. He's one of the best strikers in the league, even though he dives. But yeah, that's again another story completely. But he's a quality player. 14 finishing, 14 dribbling, 14 crossing for this level is really, really good. He'll be a quality player for me. And then we've got Jake Parker-Daesh. Again, I talked about him before. Decent potential. I want to give him a go, actually. I like him as a player. Could be decent, but again, he's got some good long shot ability, technique, first touch, so you can see what kind of player he is. Oya Mabil, who doesn't look Australian, but he is a good talent. He's got 12 dribbling. We've actually got quite a few of those like African kind of players, or just Africans in Australia. We've got like all different nations, really. You walk around and see everyone. But anyway, again, I keep getting off topic. But yeah, he's a good talent. He's a good talent. He's got dribbling ability. He's got pace. I'm surprised he's not quicker. But yeah, his finishing is low because he doesn't really score often. Yeah, he's one of those players that is a good winger with dribbling ability that kind of is selfish because his teamwork in the game is actually 15. I'm surprised with that. But yeah, he tries to take on players, I guess, in the mold of Ronaldo. Obviously not as good, but yeah, those kind of players that try and dribble, get past players, and yeah, think they know what they're doing and they're the best player. But yeah, sometimes they can produce the goods as well. So hopefully he could do that for me. Create chances. I wouldn't be expecting him to score, but create chances, yes, that's part of his game, to use his pace and dribble past players. Next up, Cassio. Again, he's actually not counted as a foreign player because he's been in Australia since like 2007. So he's got the Australian citizenship. If I go to nationalities, he's got Australia now, so that's all good. He actually went to America for a season. Not sure when. Yeah, New England. He played there. Obviously, would have caught the attention of scouts. Australia. If he just played in Brazil, yeah, probably wouldn't have saw him. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Cassio. He's a good player. He's still quality. 33 though. Might let him go. Well, he's got a contract for 2 seasons, though. But I like him. I've always liked him because I've kind of had him in my A-League fantasy teams because he's like attacking fullback. Sometimes he played wing as well and scored heaps. If I go to history, 1 season scored 4 goals. But yeah, that's about it on him. Jordan Elsey, guy I talked about before, need to bring him to the first team, but he looks okay. He'll be a backup player, I suppose. He's a young player, can improve, hopefully. And then we don't actually need another goalkeeper, so we could let him go. But, like, you know, if I release them, it goes to the salary cap, whatever you pay them. for a release clause. Not release clause, yeah, release fee or whatever it's called. But anyway, yeah, this is the introduction, and this should actually kick on now because, yeah, I'm actually, in general, I'm bored of Football Manager, like recording the video game after game, that kind of thing, like with whether it be Bar City or any of my other saves. So I have to go in a different save, Australia, where I have knowledge and stuff I can just talk about generally about the players and where I have a really big goal. I suppose you could say with Bar City there's a big goal, but this is different for me. I have more knowledge. Australia, at least you may find something interesting I talk about. That might be the thing. At least, like, it might be a rare series that I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about my knowledge about the players and that kind of stuff. So that reason is why I've started this now. So hopefully you enjoy it. Definitely next episodes will be coming soon. I'm not sure if they'll be game after game. I'll see how it goes when I play it off camera, at least the friendlies and that kind of stuff. But hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did and you want to see some more of this series, drop a like, a comment, and I'll see you guys next time.